you say, I will be careful.
I will be careful.
But not fearful.
But not fearful.
I will be careful.
I will be careful.
But not fearful.
But not fearful.
I will be careful.
I will be careful.
But I refuse.
But I refuse
to be fearful.
to be fearful.
Wow. Be careful, but not fearful. As we said, began last week, there has been a spirit of fear released all across this world. All across the world, in every place, there's a spirit of fear that has been released. People don't want to get together no more for fear of the coronavirus. People don't want to have sporting events, rethinking that, because of the coronavirus. The spirit of fear has been released. People don't want to touch hands anymore. Don't want to hug. Don't want to kiss you on the cheek anymore. The devil wants to keep us separated. And he's using the spirit of fear. We were created by God to have relationships. Human beings were created for relationships. Well, how do you know? He gave us a mouth and 2 ears. We talk and interact with each other. But the spirit of fear is taking that away. The more connected we are, the more disconnected we are. We got more information in the palm of our hands than ever before. We know more, but we understand less.
Ah, that's good.
We are disconnected, and the spirit of fear is feeding that thing, right? The belly of the beast.
That's good.
Now, I will be careful.
Yes, sir. Come on now.
But I won't be fearful.
Come on, man.
Amen?
Amen.
We live in a fallen world, just in case you didn't know it.
Oh, yeah.
It's been fallen since Genesis chapter 3. And there has been murders, brother killing brothers since Genesis. Disease and everything else that's evil in the world came since Genesis. And the spirit of fear has seemed to consume even the believers. But see, God uses everything to get the believer's attention. And this is just one of those things that God can use to get your focus back on Him. And quit feeding your fear, but start feeding your faith. Faith and fear cannot coexist at the same time. You're either going to walk by faith or you're going to live in fear. Amen?
Amen.
Think about this. Here's a 20-year snapshot that I saw. In 2000, Y2K was going to take us out. Life as we know it was going to be done. All your bank accounts was going to be empty. Computer systems was going to shut down. It was going to be darkness all around the world. Remember, if you was old enough, you remember the Y2K thing. Everybody was loading up on water, rations. Getting ready to build those bomb shelters like back in the 60s?
Yes.
Think about that.
Yeah.
In 2001, anthrax was going to take us out. You old enough to remember that, the fear of anthrax. Didn't want to open a letter. For anthrax, fear of anthrax. Don't let nobody put no white powder down. Oh, boy. In 2002, the West Nile virus was going to kill us. In 2003, SARS was going to kill us. In 2006, E. coli was going to kill us. In 2008, the bad economy was going to kill us. All right? In 2009, the swine flu came back and was going to kill us. In 2010, BP oil was going to kill us. In 2012, the Mayan calendar was going to kill us. In 2015, the Disney measles and ISIS was going to kill us. 2016, the Zika virus was going to kill us. And in 2020, the coronavirus is going to kill us. But all of that wrapped up in one big ball is this. Fear is the one that's going to kill us.
It ain't going to kill me.
Me either, because I have determined that I'm going to be careful and not fearful. But see, you have to determine that.
That's
I was
right.
meeting with somebody the other day, and they had a cold, and I'm thinking, in the back of my mind, first thing popped into my head was this. I'm like, okay. They didn't know it, but at the same time, I'm like, okay, Lord, now wait a minute. Let me get my stinking thinking right. I'm not going to be fearful. I'm going to be careful, of course, but not fearful, because at the end of the day, we all got to leave this earth. And we don't get to choose the vehicle in which carries us out. Amen. One thing we need to prepare for is for that exit.
That's right.
And fear is not a part of the equation in that exit. It has to be faith. And faith alone. What did Paul say to Timothy? I have fought a good fight. I have finished my course. I have kept the faith. It didn't say kept the fear. Kept the faith. The only fight that we have is the fight of faith. Amen. So we need to stand in faith. So I am determined to be careful. Because we are supposed to be sober and vigilant. But not fearful. I'm not going to let fear consume me to the point where I am just paralyzed because of fear. And the Bible says in the last days, hearts would fail because of fear. So men's hearts failing is a part of the sign that Jesus is coming. It's got to change your perspective. Have an eternal worldview, not a world temporal worldview. Amen? Now there exists an Indian tribe with a unique way of maturing the boys of their tribe. When a boy is in his coming of age, he would be blindfolded and brought into the deepest dark forest. When the day would grow very dark, the blindfold would be removed from his eyes, and the person who led him there would leave him alone. Now the boy would be considered successful and would be accepted as an adult if he didn't scream or if he didn't cry until the next morning. The night was very dark, and even the boy could not even see his own hand. It was so dark that he would be afraid. Now the sounds of the woods, I don't know if y'all heard that over there. If you heard, if a tree falls in the wood, would you hear it? Well, at night, the trees would be bending and everything, limbs would be falling off, leaves would be rustling, and so wolves would be howling and everything would be creeping. The boy becomes very fearful, but he has to keep silent, not screaming or crying, so that he could pass the exam. Because if he didn't pass the exam, that would bring shame to the family. Amen. And don't nobody want their boy or their family to fail. Amen. Now, a second was like hours, and hours was like a year, and he could not even close his eyes to sleep as scared sweats streamed down from his body. Now the morning sun at last started to show itself, and he was terribly joyful. And he looked around at himself, but when he looked around at himself, he would be very shocked. Why? Because he looked back, and his father would be standing back there with his arrow, his bow and arrow ready, with a machete in his sheath, just in case something was coming to his boy. Just in case a wild animal or a snake would come to get his boy. The father was back there, unbeknownst to the boy, the whole time.
Hallelujah.
The whole time. He's there watching and waiting, praying that the boy does not cry or that he does not scream. But at the same time, he was watching over his boy's back. That's the same picture the Heavenly Father got over us right now. He don't want us to cry. He don't want us to scream. He don't want us to be in the spirit of fear, because he has got our back. So I will be careful, but I won't be fearful because the Heavenly Father has got my back and He's got your back. Amen?
Yes, sir.
You know that song, I Trust in God?
Yes.
Wherever I may be,
Yes.
on the land or out on the raging sea, come what may, from day to day, my Heavenly Father, He's watching over me. I trust in God. Because He what? Cares for me. Woo. You can trust God with your life. So don't be fearful, but you do have to be careful. Amen. Now go to Psalm number 27. That's where we're going to start. That's where we're going to start. And then we'll let the Holy Spirit take us wherever we're going to end up. Amen.
Amen. How's that?
Good.
I will be careful, but I will not be what? Fearful. Now the theme of this psalm is that God offers help for today and hope for tomorrow.
Yeah.
And guess what? Unwavering confidence in God is your antidote for fear.
Hallelujah.
Unwavering confidence in God is your antidote for fear.
Hallelujah.
Guess what? God is trustworthy.
Yes, he is.
Yes, he is.
Huh?
Yes.
Do you believe that He's trustworthy?
Yes.
God is a supernatural God who has a supernatural record, right?
Yes.
And He's a supernatural God that can keep you covered even from coronavirus and from any other virus. Because if you look back over the history of this country and beyond this world, there have been all types of viruses and all kinds of sickness and all kinds of weather. Amen. All of it. And you can trust God because He knows you by your name.
Yes.
She read it. I have redeemed you. I have called you by your name. God will fight for you. The battle is not yours, it's the Lord. He thinks about you. In other words, you are always on God's mind. Why? Because you're the apple of God's eye. He has plans for you. Not for an end, but a future and a hope. Amen. God is your refuge. He is always with you. So I am determined to be careful and not fearful. Why? Because fear is a dark shadow that envelops you, and it will ultimately imprison you to yourself. It'll have you locking yourself back, keeping yourself in when God told you to go. How you going to win disciples if you shut them in?
Amen.
Think about it. One thing about the devil, he ain't no dummy. Amen. Amen. Now, let's read. Psalm 27 verse 1 says this. The Lord is what?
My life.
Now, you need some direction. You need to be able to follow somebody. Start following God.
That's right.
And quit following MSNBC, Fox News, CNN, and all the others. Quit getting your God information through the television and start getting your God information from His book. You want to hear the voice of God? Read the words of God. Because the words of God is the voice of God in print. And you want to follow something, start following Him and declare like David, the Lord is my light. What? In this dark world. What does that mean? He's the light of day. He is my bright morning star. He is my day star. If you follow Him, you won't get lost.
That's right. Amen. Come on.
He is the compass, yeah. He gives you direction. When you can't see it, He already is beyond it.
Yes.
Think about that.
Hallelujah.
You can't see it, but God's already beyond it. Woo. He is my what? Light. My daybreak. He is my dawn. He is my morning star. He is the light of instruction. In other words, He will tell you how to step, when to step, and where to step.
Yeah.
Quit following people that don't know God. I'm going to say that again. Quit following people that don't know God. Well, how do you know they know God? Fruit will show up. The Bible tells us plainly what the fruit of the Spirit is. But we skip over the part what the fruit of the flesh is. Let's go to Galatians chapter 5. I want to show it to you. Just so that you can have an idea on who to follow. Galatians chapter 5. And we'll start at verse number 16. Galatians chapter 5. The Lord is my what?
Light.
He is my light. Follow people that know God.
Amen.
And that begins with you. Let's start at verse 16. It says, this I say then, walk in the Spirit, and you shall not fulfill the lust of your flesh. For the flesh lusteth against the Spirit, and the Spirit against the flesh, and these are contrary to the one to the other.
Yes.
So that you cannot do the things that you would. But if you are led of the Spirit, you are not under the law. Now here it is, verse 19. Now the works of the flesh are manifest, or revealed, or obvious, which are these: adultery, fornication, uncleanness, lasciviousness, which means being filthy, idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, variance, which means discord, emulations, which means jealousy, wrath, which means fits of rage, strife, which means selfish ambition, seditions, which means dissension and heresies, and that's not even the end of it. Envyings, murders, drunkenness, revelings, which means orgies, and such alike. Those are the fruit, and that's not an exhaustive list of the flesh. Now, to tell if you walk in the Spirit, here's the fruit of the Spirit. Verse 22 says, but the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, and what?
Faith.
Meekness, temperance, and against such there is no law. If you're going to follow somebody that's operating and showing you the fruit of the Spirit. Now, I'm not telling you just because you become a Christian, that means you become perfect. And you won't sin, and you won't have challenges, and you won't go through it. But what I am telling you is that if you hang with God, He will be your light. All right, let's go back to Psalm 27. Amen. He will be your light, and not only your light, He will be what? Your light and your what? Salvation. The Lord is my light and my salvation, which means my deliverance. Have you ever been delivered? For those who have been delivered, have you stayed delivered? Because the one thing about being delivered is you can slip back. If you don't allow the Lord to continue to be your light and your salvation, you can slip back. Just as you get a deliverance, you can lose your deliverance. Amen. The Lord is my light and what?
My salvation.
Whom shall I what?
Fear.
The Lord is the what?
Strength of my life.
Of whom?
Shall I be afraid?
Strength means rock.
Stronghold.
Stronghold.
Yes.
The Lord is your place of protection.
Yes.
I told you last week, get under the covering of God.
Yes.
The secret place, right?
Yes.
Because God will be your strength
Yes.
and your protection if you make Him your light.
That's right. Hallelujah. That's good.
Amen? But then not only make Him your light, you got to keep Him as your light.
Yeah.
Now there's the challenge.
That's right.
Because the devil will throw any and everything at you to keep you from following your light.
Yeah.
Because if you follow your light, pretty soon the light will be in you, and you can lead others.
Yeah. Good
We talked to
stuff.
Brother Delvin earlier today, and he said, I've always been one of those persons that have this light that shines. And people see it at work, right? And the reason why he gets attacked so much is because the devil don't like him shining that light. And the reason why you get attacked so much is because the devil want to put out the light.
That's right.
But if the Lord is your light and your salvation, why are you going to fear man?
Yeah.
If he's your light and your salvation, why am I going to fear some disease? If he is my light, if I leave this earth, I'm going to be with him. I want you to cry for me, but don't call me back, because I ain't coming. Amen. I held on too long to be in his presence. Amen.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you this too. Believers sometimes have an issue with eternity. They want the security of eternity. But some believers don't want to go into eternity. So they try to stay in time all they can. And they try to hold you in time instead of you going to receive your reward. Why? Because it's some unknown, or the devil gets into your ear and says, well, if you die, it's over. No. If you die in God, you will be with God for eternity out of time. Amen. Now, I don't know where I got this talking about going into eternity. Eternity for the believer is just going into another dimension. You leave time peacefully and you enter into eternity peacefully. Amen? You go to sleep in time, but you wake up in eternity. You go to sleep maybe ravaged by disease, but you wake up in eternity healed. You go to sleep in time under stress and pressure, but you go into eternity with a total burden lifted off of you. You go into, you leave time and your body may be hurting, but you go into eternity with a new glorified body. No more aches and pains. No more tears, no more suffering, no more sorrow. Praise God. So I am determined to be careful, but not fearful. Why? The Lord is
my life.
That is no question to it.
That's right.
You know why? I'll tell you this. I don't know how many. I can tell you your testimony, but I can tell you my testimony. I often think about what God has brought me from. And how he had the right to kill me earlier. Amen. Because I was living outside of his will. But I am so glad.
Thank you, God. Hallelujah.
How many of you are so glad that God in his mercy kept you in?
Thank you, Lord.
And saved your soul that was full of sin and full of sickness and disease. But now he delivered you. And he thought enough of you because he loved you that much that he decided that he didn't want to live eternity without you.
Hallelujah. Ooh, that's some good stuff.
The Lord is. Now, you have to answer that question your own. Is he? And I'm not, and we don't got a, well, we got one, a former teacher. Is he? But I'm going to say, ain't he?
Is he or ain't he?
Is he or ain't he? See, I believe, just like back in Habakkuk, God is showing his people that y'all need to get it together. You better get it together. This ain't no time to be teeter-tottering on the fence.
That's right.
You put your trust in your money if you want to. You see what's happening in the stock market because of a virus. Or the fear of a virus. Led by an ungodly person. We need to put our trust back where it needs to be. And that's in God.
That's right. Yes, sir.
As believers, we ought to put our trust back in God and start leading unbelievers to. Because guess what? Just because we have that insurance policy of going into eternity with God, does not mean we won't be held accountable for what we did not do.
That's it.
And even though the Lord is your light, you got to go be a light now. Amen.
That's right.
Next, number 2 says, when the wicked, even my enemies and my foes, come upon me to eat up my flesh, they did what?
Stumble and fail.
When the enemy, the wicked, when this virus comes upon me, it stumbles and it falls.
Yes.
Why? Because Psalm 91 summed it up for us. We stay in that secret place. 1,000 may fall at your right hand and 1,000 at the left. All right? Something like that. The point is this. They may fall, but you won't because God is keeping you in. Amen. Though a host should encamp against me, my heart shall not what?
Fear.
Your heart is the seat of your emotions. And it shall not what?
Fear.
The war should rise against me. In this I will be what? Will I be what?
Confident.
Trusting and secure. One thing have I desired of the Lord, and that will I seek after, that I may do what?
Dwell in the house of the Lord.
All the what?
Days of my life.
To behold the beauty of the Lord and to inquire in his temple. In other words, to seek him while he may be found. The one thing I desire, David said, and that will I seek after, is to dwell, which means to remain in the house of the Lord. That doesn't mean stay at church 24/7. That means allow him to dwell in you. Because did you know that you are the temple of the Holy Ghost?
That's right. That's right.
So you are the temple of the Holy Ghost. That means he lives within you. And if he lives within you, he is with you all the time. Amen?
Amen.
Let's go to Psalm 61. Psalm 61. The Lord is my light and what?
My salvation.
I will be careful, but I won't be fearful. Why? Because the Lord is my light and what?
My salvation. He is.
He is. Not no might, but he is. And because he is your light and your salvation, you can declare this. In verse 1 of Psalm 61, it says, hear my cry, O God, and attend or listen to my prayer. Which means to bend your ear to my prayer.
My God.
If the Lord is your light, you have a chance to bend his ear to your prayer.
Hallelujah.
Amen.
Hallelujah.
He said, hear my cry, O God, attend or listen to my prayer. From the end of the earth will I cry unto you. When my heart is what?
Overwhelmed.
When my heart is what?
Overwhelmed.
Which means to be covered with darkness. That's what overwhelmed means. That your heart is covered with darkness. That you can't hardly see the light because you're so overwhelmed you can hardly breathe.
My God. Been there.
I've said this a time or two before. When you are overwhelmed, that means you're trying to do it on your own. That's when you're carrying the burden yourself and not casting the whole of your care onto him. So that allows you to be overwhelmed, to be covered with darkness. When my heart, the seat of my emotions, is overwhelmed or covered with darkness, do what? What's the next part?
Lead me to the rock that is higher than I.
Lead me to the rock that is higher than I. Well, I'm taking you to the rock.
Yeah.
Because I believe that some got overwhelmed this week. Amen. If it's not by this virus, it's by something else. It could be the weight of a bill. It could be the brokenheartedness you have from your child, or whatever the case may be. It may be a medical condition that the doctor says that you got no help or you can't find the answer to. You get overwhelmed. God is saying, go get to the rock.
Yeah.
I'm going to lead you to the rock. Amen. Be sober, be vigilant, because the adversary, the devil, is trying to seek whom he may devour. That may be you.
My God.
The devil is trying to eat you up.
Yes.
And he wants you to get into that place of being overwhelmed, because if you get overwhelmed, most times people won't go to God.
Right.
They start listening to everybody else but God. They start having a pity party and don't talk to God. But David, the psalm says, hear my cry. God wants you to cry out to him. Yeah, we've been through a lot as a people. For years and years and years, we have been suppressed, depressed, oppressed, under stress.
Yeah.
But get to God.
Yeah.
Amen.
Get to God. Make him your light.
Yes.
Make him your salvation.
Yes.
Why? Because he's higher than you are.
Yes.
Amen.
Hallelujah.
God is not a man that he should lie. His thoughts are higher than our thoughts. His ways are higher than our ways. Get to God. How? In prayer. When you become a believer, that gives you the opportunity to get into a deep relationship with God. God is not after your religion.
That's right.
Jesus did not die for your religion.
That's right.
He died so that you can have a relationship with God the Father. How do you maintain your relationship with God the Father? Through prayer and supplication. Through reading, studying, digesting, regurgitating his word back to him. Well, God, you said. Amen. Lord, you said, don't use it like the devil tried to use it, but use it like, God, you said that you is my shepherd and I shall not want. God, you said that my needs will be supplied. You said that you are my God and my King. You said you called me by my name, right? You said you never leave me nor forsake me. You said I'm always on your mind. You said you know every number of my hair on my head, right? This is what you said, God. And because God is not a man that he don't lie, he holds fast to his word. He will never release his word and don't accomplish the thing that he sent it for. Amen.
Yes.
Woo.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
So when you get overwhelmed, get to the rock.
That's right.
And don't wait on me to get you there.
That's right.
The one thing about what Jesus did is you don't have to go to some priest in some backslidden priest in some corner somewhere. You can go to God directly for yourself. Amen. See, the problem has been with some churches over in, I ain't going to say rock, some churches over in somewhere else.
Right here.
Timbuktu, that's a good one. Timbuktu is this. We have been dependent on a man or woman so much that we forgot to depend on God.
Yeah.
See, God needs maturity right now.
Yes, he does.
He needs spiritual maturity from his believers right now.
Yes.
But if the believers are acting spiritually immature, what hope does the unbeliever have?
My God.
What hope does the unbeliever have? None. We are supposed to be showing the way, leading the way to the rock, not running away from the rock. Amen?
Amen.
Where was I at? For thou hast been a what?
Refuge.
A refuge, a shelter, a place of safety for me.
Mm-hmm.
And a strong what?
Tower.
From what?
Yeah.
He has been a shelter. And a what? Strong tower. And he made it personal. He said, for me. From the enemy. And I will abide in thy tabernacle. There it is. Forever. I will trust in the cover of thy wing. Selah. Yes. In other words, pause and think about it. Mm-hmm. Pause and think about what? Think about how he has been all of that for you.
Yes, yes.
Well, how can you say that? If you're over the age of 1, you can look back. Yeah. And so, wait a minute, it had to be God. When you thought you couldn't do the next step, it had to be God. When you thought you couldn't, when you was broke and didn't have a dime. But yet and still, you're all right. You're here. And you might be broke today, but you're here. What does that mean? You got another opportunity for God to show out. Amen. An obstacle is nothing but an opportunity for God.
That's good. That's good.
Selah.
Yes.
Take a pause. Verse 5 says, For thou, O God, hast heard my vows. Thou hast given me the heritage or an inheritance of those that fear thy name.
Yes.
So let's drop down to Psalm 62. In verse 1, since y'all there. It says, Truly my soul does what?
Wait.
After you made him your light, and now that you have prayed, now your soul is what? Waiting.
That's right.
Waiting how? Expectantly.
That's right. That's right.
Waiting does not mean sit on your hands. Waiting means expect God to show up and show off and to show out.
That's right.
Well, what do you mean by that, preacher? That means you get into God in a prayer closet.
Yes.
You get you a word and keep saying that word until that thing you believe in him for shows up. And if it's within his will, you will get it. Amen. And if it's outside of his will, he will show you that it's not in his will. Amen. Until you line your will up with his will, and then his will be done. Amen. Truly my soul does what? From him cometh my what?
Salvation.
He only is my what?
Rock.
And my
Salvation.
he is my,
Defense.
and I shall not be what?
Great movement.
Neither will I be shaken.
Yes.
So everything that's coming upon us, we as believers should not be shaken because God is our rock and our defense.
That's right. That's right.
Yes.
That's good.
Based on him being our light and our salvation.
Yeah.
Based on our prayer life with him. That now we're waiting expectantly for him to what? Show up.
Yes.
Now I'm going to show you how to wait expectantly. Y'all want to see it? I'm almost done. Let's go to Psalm 100.
All right.
Teach.
Psalm 100. This is how you wait expectantly. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Amen. I don't know how we're going to knit it together, but he's knitting it. Amen. He's knitting it together. Amen. This is how you wait expectantly. Psalm 100 verse 1 says, Make a joyful noise unto the Lord, all ye lands. Serve the Lord with gladness. Come before his presence with singing. Know ye that the Lord, he is God. It's he that hath made us, not we ourselves. We are his what?
People.
We are marked as belonging to him.
Yes.
We are his what?
People.
We are marked as belonging to him. We are called out.
Yes.
We are a peculiar people.
Yes.
Amen. We belong to him. Amen. We are his people and the what?
Sheep of his pasture.
The mark of a good shepherd is he takes care of his sheep.
Yeah.
If one of the sheep get out of the pen, he's going after that one to bring him back in the pen so that he can put a hedge of protection around that sheep. We are his sheep. Ain't nothing wrong with following the light.
That's right.
It's only wrong when you're following the wrong light. Amen. And there's several of them. There's one out there now that's trying to sell some coronavirus thing that antidote or some kind of cure. That's what it is. Who was supposedly a man of God.
Yes.
Who at one time had a big, large ministry with him and his wife. She passed on now. But he's back on television. He went to prison. He's got out of prison. Now he's back on TV talking about, I got a cure for the coronavirus. PTL, praise the Lord. You got to follow the right shepherd. Following the wrong shepherd will get you killed. The wrong shepherd will lead you astray. The wrong shepherd won't lead you to the rock that's higher than you. The wrong shepherd will lead you to them. Because they make it all about them. Blind lead the blind. Can't even talk about the coronavirus without saying about his ratings. Come on.
That's good. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I ain't going to get off of that because it's going to get me in trouble. We are the sheep of his pasture. Enter into his gates with thanksgiving. That means confession of thankfulness. You enter his gates with thanksgiving, meaning give him a confession of thankfulness. What? Of what? That he brought you one more time. You may not have it all together. All hell may be breaking loose at home. But guess what? I enter his gates with thanksgiving. And enter his courts with what?
Praise.
Praise. I praise you anyhow, God. I praise you in spite of it, God.
Yes.
I praise you because I know beyond the shadow of a doubt that you're going to get me out. And even if you don't get me out, you are in here with me. Amen. Pray. Enter into his gates with what? Thanksgiving. And enter his courts with what?
Praise.
And be thankful.
Yes.
To who? Him. Half of the problem is people not being thankful. Taking God's gift for granted.
Yes.
Having a sense of entitlement to the blessing that God gives you by not telling him thank you, and then you want other ones. Without first telling him thank you for the first one.
My God.
Now, y'all got kids, and I've said this before. If your child came to you, and they have, and you give to them, and they don't say as much as a thank you, the heavenly, we are created in the Father's image. He has everything, he gives everything, but every now and then he likes to hear a thank you. So tell him thank you.
Thank you, Lord.
Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord.
Thank you, God.
I'm waiting
Hallelujah.
Thank you. I'm going to be careful but not fearful. Thank you, Lord.
Hallelujah.
You are my light and my salvation. Thank you, Lord.
Thank you, Lord.
I won't fear no man. Thank you, Lord. Thank you for the hedge of protection. Thank you for watching over me when I didn't even know you were watching me. Thank you, Lord.
Thank you, Lord.
Thank you for the sunshine.
Yes.
Thank you for the rain because it's got
Thank you,
purpose.
Lord.
Amen. Thank you for the snow because it has purpose, Lord God. Thank you for all of it, Lord. The sunshine, the skies, all of it, the clouds. Thank you, Lord. We got to learn how to be thankful again.
Yes. Yes.
Thankful. Grateful. You sitting in here now, you ain't got it, so thank you for it. Amen.
Yes, Lord.
Thank you for it. You ain't got that sickness. Thank you for it.
Yes. Yes.
You may have an ache and pain. Okay, God. Even in this, God, I thank you because I can feel it. Amen. That lets me know that I still have another day of mercy. Amen.
My
Thank you.
God.
We may not be rich, but thank you anyhow.
Yes.
I might not have a poorhouse. Maybe you do in your refrigerator. But I thank you for the bologna.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I may not even have that, but thank you anyway, Lord. Because I got a house to go to look at an empty refrigerator. Amen.
Always something.
Thank you, Lord.
Yes.
I might not be the best dressed person, but I got something to put on. Thank you, Lord. We got to be thankful. Grateful to God.
Thank you, Lord.
Because He is our light and our salvation. And as we wait expectantly, patiently for Him,
Yes.
we enter His gates with thanksgiving in our heart. And into His courts with what? Praise. Be thankful. Be thankful unto Him and what? Bless His name. Or speak words of excellence about God.
Yes. My God.
It ain't hard to speak excellence about God.
Yeah.
All you have to do is just say God. That's excellent. Amen. He wants you to call him God. If you can't think of nothing else, say Jesus. That really makes him happy. Amen. In the beginning it was Jesus. In the middle it's Jesus. And at the end it's Jesus.
Yeah.
And I'm going to preach Jesus. Amen.
Hallelujah.
Why? For the Lord is what?
Good.
The Lord is my life. For the Lord is.
Salvation.
No. For the Lord is what?
Good.
That is no question mark there either.
That's right.
For the Lord is good. His mercy or his steadfast mercy is everlasting, which means it's continuous and it's never ending.
Hallelujah.
You woke up this morning to a new mercy.
Yes.
You went to bed last night on a mercy. You wake up tomorrow, he blesses you to wake up in time with a new mercy. His mercy is everlasting. It's perpetual.
Yes.
You traveled here in mercy. And praise God, you'll get back home in mercy. And thank God, because of his mercy, he didn't give you what you deserve.
That's right.
That's good.
His mercy is everlasting.
Yes.
He never runs out of it. We serve a God that mercy never runs out of.
Hallelujah.
Compassion never runs out of it either. Grace never runs out of it either. Favor never runs out of it either. Blessing never runs out of it either. But judgment doesn't run out either, because he's going to end of the day, he's going to judge us. Amen.
That's right.
For the Lord is good, his mercy endureth, and his what? Endureth to what? All generations. God's truth is to all generations, from the beginning of man till we wrap this thing, till he wraps this thing up. And you're going to discover at the end of time, and you go into eternity, that he was telling the absolute truth. Amen?
Amen.
So he is our what? Light and salvation? Right? We won't fear him. We won't fear or be afraid.
Careful.
That's right. And we're going to pray to him. And we're going to wait expectantly for him.
Thankful.
Because his truth endures to all generations.
Yes.
Amen?
Amen.
I will be careful.
That's right. Be careful.
But not fearful. Say it.
Not fearful.
I will be careful, but not fearful.
But not fearful. Yeah. I wash my hands yet.
That's right. The devil wants to.
Do all that stuff.
Yes.
But I won't operate in fear.
That's right.
I refuse to be bound by it, and you should too. Amen. One thing about your pastor is I'm leading you to the rock.
That's right.
If I got to drag you, we going. Amen. Stand to your feet. I'm going to be careful, but I won't be fearful.